Welcome to the session 2.7 of your chapter Optics. In this session, we'll be discussing about refraction through a convex lens, and under this, we'll be having six subdivisions in which we'll be studying in detail how the refraction of light takes place under the convex lens in various distances. Okay, as usual, in last lecture, we saw about images formed due to refraction through convex and concave lenses, and actually what it is saying is that three rules, just we studied about three rules. First rule is when a light ray is passing through the center, what's that, optical center of a concave or convex lens, then the ray will have no deviation. That's the first rule. And the second rule is that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis of a lens, I mean it can be a concave lens or a convex lens, then the ray will be passing through the focus, that's principal focus of the lens, or it will pretend to be passing through the principal focus. Pretend means it is virtually going through the focus. Virtual means uh, uh, what can I say? Okay, virtuality is just the opposite of reality. You know what is reality, so you can know what is virtuality. It's just dreams, something like that. And that is the concave lens will deviate the light in such a way that the deviated light will meet the virtual focus. Very simple. And the third rule, when a ray passing through or directed towards the principal focus strikes a convex lens or concave lens, the refracted ray will be parallel to the principal axis. And this one is the vice versa of the rule 2. Okay. If an incident ray is going to be passed through the principal focus and hit the lens, then the ray is made parallel to the principal axis. And that's all the three rules. In today's session, we'll be discussing about object at infinity, object placed beyond C, that is greater than 2f, and then object placed at C, C is center of curvature. Then object placed between F and C, F is focus here. Object placed at principal focus, and the last topic is object placed between the principal focus F and optical center O. This is a special case which we need to concentrate more, and all these six topics will be coming under the convex lens, and for concave lenses I guess we will be having only two subtopics. And according to your exam point of view, you must remember and know how to draw this lens diagram and some explanations based on this topic. Okay, we are going through the points, paragraph. Let us discuss the formation of images by a convex lens when the object is placed at various positions. Wait a minute. Okay, this feels better. Object at infinity. When an object is placed at infinity, comma, infinity means a farther distance. But actually, if we take a lens which is having a focal length of 5 centimeter, then if we keep the object at 100-meter distance, then compared to that 5 centimeter, 100-meter is very larger for that lens. So that 100-meter object will pretend to be in infinity, and that's what they are mentioning here. Okay, see, I'm saying 5 centimeter focal length lens. Okay, and the object is going to be in 100-meter distance from the lens. 100-meter means 100 to 100, 10 power 4 centimeter distance. So that's comparatively in an infinity distance. When an object is placed at infinity, a real image is formed at the principal focus of the convex lens in the other side. Okay, the size of the image is much smaller than that of the object, and this smaller image, or we can in another word we can say that a diminished image. A diminished image is also called a smaller image. That's what they are saying here. And see, Very simple. Just imagine a tree here. Tree. Okay. Tree is here, and its incident rays are coming in this direction, which is parallel to the principal axis. It's a bit hard to draw in this. Okay. And after this is the object, right? After it is going to after these incident rays are going to pass through the convex lens, then the rays are going to be converged to the principal focus. What does this mean? You might be asking that the whole tree is going to be converged, or it is going to be meeting at a fixed point, that is focus, and it will be very very smaller, but we can't see. You can see this point, right? This point you can see because it's a point, but you can see. And if you just make a point with your sharp pencil or pen, you can see, but it's very small, and it is also considered as point sized image. Point sized, okay, point sized. And here in this paragraph, what they told is that the size of the image is much smaller than that of the object. So if you're going to have a bigger pen with bigger tip, then the point which it is going to make is bigger as compared to your pencil. See, if this is the mark which this is the point which is made by a pencil, which is having very minute tip, and you're going to take a marker which will be having a bigger tip, and it is going to make a bigger dot, but both are considered as small according to their perspective. Okay. And that's what we are going to use here. If you are going to consider a tree as the object, then the image will be very 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 smaller, that the image size will be compared with the size of the seed. What I'm saying is that if this is the size of the, I'm sorry, if where is the pen, man? The pen is not coming. Okay, if this is the size of the image, I mean the tree, okay, tree bark, and the incident rays are coming, and here the image will be in this much size only, but it is actually visible to our eyes, and that's what it is called as smaller image. Very simple. You just need to remember the ray diagram. This is called as a ray diagram, and you need to mark these things to f1 f1 f2 f2 f2. Okay. Then simple thing you need to remember is, if the incident ray or the object is placed at infinity from the lens, then the image of the object is going to meet in the principal focus, and the size of the image is very small. That's all. Second one, object placed beyond C. But look at here. In before case, I mean in the first case, we took the object at infinity, and here they are going to take it just ahead of C. This is C. C is equal to 2f1. We know focus into 2 is equal to center of curvature, and that's what they are using it here. The object is placed behind C, and where you can expect the image will be in between focus and center of curvature in the opposite direction. When an object is placed behind the center of curvature beyond C, a real and inverted image is formed between the center of curvature and the principal focus in the other side of the lens. The size of the image is the same as that of the object. See, in your book they gave that the size of the image is quite equal to the size of the object, but it's actually wrong. If you keep the object in C, then only we can expect that the image size will be also equal to the object size. This is a bit wrong, but according to your textbook you need to write your answers, so you can write this. The size of the image is the same as that of the object. You can write it, no problem at all. But if your teacher says correct it, then do that. Okay. One thing which I forgot to tell you is that the image formed in this thing is also real image. Real image is nothing. You can extract the image in a screen. See, if you are going to use the plane mirror, a plain mirror which you are using in your home, and want to extract the image which you are seeing in the mirror, you can't do that because it's not going to create a real image. But with a convex lens, you can extract that image in a paper. Extracting means not printing, man. It's just showing the image, okay? Don't confuse with my words. The size of the image, okay? Fine. This is just the ray diagram 2f1. It's just a bit back ahead of C. So when it is going to be the object, then the image is formed between focus and center of curvature. That's all. Then object placed at center of curvature. When an object is placed at the center of curvature, you know what is center of curvature? 2 into focal length is center of curvature, right? I said before. So when an object is placed at the center of curvature, comma, a real and inverted image is formed at the other center of curvature. The size of the image is same as that of the object. See, this sentence is correct for this case, but they are wrong for this case. The size of the image is same as that of size of the object. This is wrong. Actually, they must write that the size of the image is smaller than that of the size of the object. This is, you can see it right, see it here, right? Almost this is this might be some, this size and this size is great different na. This one is bigger than this one, right? So definitely this statement is wrong. You can judge it. And here the statement is correct. The size of the image is same as that of the object. This is the ray diagram for the third case, which is a very easy case. You are going to keep the object at C and you are going to get the image at C. Very simple. See, they used two rules which we learnt in last session. First rule, the ray is going to pass through optical center so that there is no deviation, right? The next one, the ray which is parallel to the principal axis is going to travel through focus. So both the rays are going to meet at one point, and that point is the point where the image is going to be formed clearly. Okay, you're getting it. See, in each and every diagram they are going to use the three rules. See, here also they used two rules. The incident ray is passing through center of, no, it's not optical center. And the second rule is that any ray which is parallel to the principal axis will be passing through the principal focus after deviation. So these two rays are going to meet at this point, and this point is the point where the image is going to be formed much clearer than ever. Everywhere rules are going to be used, man. See, here also rays are parallel to principal axis, so they are going to meet at focus. Just these three rules are going to play with your the next topic. I mean this topic. These three rules are enough to clear this topic, man. Then object placed between F and C. F is focus and C is curvature, center of curvature. When an object is placed in between the center of curvature and principal focus, comma, a real and inverted image. What is an inverted image? Fourth time we are coming across this word, right? Inverted image. Inverted image means very simple. See, they wrote here. They draw. Yeah, if you are going to draw a tree here, tree, and the inverted image will be formed in this side, right? And the image will be looking as the tree is facing down. That's called as inverted image. Then, when an object is placed in between the center of curvature and principal focus, a real and inverted image is formed behind the center of curvature. Vice versa. See, you just need to compare with it. Actually, when we are keeping the image behind C, that's the second case, right? If you are going to keep the object behind C, then the image is going to be formed between focus and the center of curvature, somewhere here, right? And in this case we are going to keep the object between center of curvature and focus here, and the image is going to be formed behind C. See, it's vice versa. Vice versa. VICE VERSA. Vice versa. The opposite of the other case. Here also the same rule. Principal focus, incident ray is parallel, and it is going through the focus. Then it is meeting at some point. The other rule. A ray which is passing through the optical center will have no deviation. So these two rays are going to meet at a point, and the point is the point where the image is going to be extracted clearly. Then object placed at the principal focus F. Yes, in the first case, what we saw is that the object is placed in infinity, right, somewhere here, in this point, somewhere here, and the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis, so it is going to be meeting in the focus, and we are getting a very small image. Look at here, the image size is very bigger na. In this case, the image size and object size are same. This is placed at C and this comes at C, and here the object size is lesser than the image size, right? Just compare with it. This is called as magnification. Image size is very bigger than object size, so magnification happens. And here we saw infinity object, the rays are coming parallel to the principal axis and they are going to meet at focus. And what they did here is that they kept the object at focus and the image will be formed at infinity, so the magnification is very very high, right? If you are going to keep a pencil, and if you are going to keep a pencil in the focus of this lens, then you are going to observe the pencil from a far away through the lens. Then what you will be seeing is that a very very enlarged image of the pencil. Actually it's a real and inverted image, so you can't see that. You can extract it in a screen, then you can see that. What I'm saying is that just keep a whiteboard here, whiteboard, okay? So if there is a whiteboard, then the image of this object AB will be available here, very very large image. That's what I'm saying. And from here you can see the image, okay? So this is the fifth case. The size of the image is much larger than that of the object. There the object is kept at focus and you are going to get the image at infinity distance. And the last subtopic, object placed between the principal focus and optical center, a very very special case in which you are not going to get a real image. Instead you are going to get a virtual image, and that image you are going to see through the lens. As far as my knowledge is concerned, if you just see from this direction through the lens and you can view the object, not here, you will be seeing the image only. Here it's very enlarged, right? Magnification happened. We can see the paragraph. When an object is placed in between principal focus and optical center, principal focus and optical center, so here is the object, a virtual image is formed. So this is the virtual image which is in the side of the object, okay? The size of the image is larger than that of the object. Yeah, definitely this is very larger than the object, right? You just can compare it, and that's all. Ray diagram is very important, and see here the ray diagram is very important. Fine, you know this, right? Any line which is parallel to the principal axis will meet at focus. So here it is F2. Why F2? Yeah, why F2? F1, okay. Why F2? This is focus, man. This is not needed. This is printing mistake. F1, only F1 must be here and F2 is here. Why F2 is here? Arey yaar. Okay, just leave that. Leave that. You just need the diagram, right? This is a special case. As far as I am concerned, this is a special case. So from principal axis, it is going to be bending, right? Bending, but it is going to bend in center of curvature. It is going to pass through the center of curvature, and then the another ray is passing through the optical center, and this rule is adhered with your rule which I taught you in last session. So if we brought this line backwards and this line also in backward direction, then these two will meet at a point, and that point will be the point in which you are going to see the image, I mean a virtual image. And that's all for today. The session is over, but we need to recapture once, right? Recapturing helps you learn more and more, and it stays in your memory. First one: object kept at infinity, image formed at focus. Second one: object kept behind center of curvature, image formed between focus and center of curvature. Then object kept at center of curvature and image is also formed in center of curvature. And then object is kept behind center of curvature and focus here, and image is formed behind center of curvature, the vice versa. Then object is kept at focus, image is formed behind center of curvature and in infinity. And here a very special case where the object is kept between focus and optical center, and the image is formed in the same side but between center of curvature and focus. And that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.